I'll record it. And I shall share my screen and we shall get going. So the question here for all of us, welcome, first of all. My name is Knut. I'm married to Julie. You can tell from our accents that we're not from around here. Julie is born and raised in Australia. I'm born and raised in Norway, in Northern Europe. I left there when I was 25, and through a couple of hop, skip, and jumps, I ended up in Australia where I met Julie. Julie has a background as a police officer in New South Wales in Australia, and I have a background from the military in Norway, and I've spent 40 years in IT in multiple countries around the world. We arrived here in Florida 11 years ago through a work visa from Australia, and we love it. We think this is the best thing that has ever happened to us. And this is the land of the free. And we have opportunities here that in many respects we don't have anywhere else in the world. We came across this beautiful little patch through an accident that Julie had, as a matter of fact. She ripped her calf muscle playing tennis. And she was leading into a major tennis tournament here in next to us in Georgia. And for 3 or 4 weeks, she was back and forth to a physiotherapist, could not get the calf muscle to work real good. And leading into the tournament, we are like 2 or 3 days away. And a friend of hers in a small town where we live said, hey, you should try one of these. And one of these is actually what we're going to talk about, which is the X39 patch, which is this little bad boy here. And it'd probably be a good idea if I turn on my video so you can see what I'm doing as well. Don't know what happened there. So here we go. This is the little bad boy. And wafer thin, or even thinner than that, the size of a quarter, but it's a remarkable little product. And you can see this sitting on this lady's left arm. It has on the back side of it is a glue that sticks to your skin. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But this is what allows your body to heal from within, regenerate and rejuvenate itself. And it's a remarkable technology. It's a remarkable product, as well as a lot of the other things that LifeWave as a company has to offer. So what is a stem cell? Why is this so important? And most people have never even heard about stem cells. If you go and ask your doctor, they might have heard something in med school, but they have no idea what was happened in the stem cell technology space in the last 3 to 5 years. They have no idea. They're busy. They don't think that anything major is going to happen unless it's actually sponsored and or revealed by one of the major pharmaceuticals. And guess what? This is something that major pharmaceuticals have been trying to get done for years. And we'll talk a little bit about how this came about. The stem cell itself is a master building block. It's a control cell that can turn itself into virtually any other cell in your body. So the challenge we have by the time we are 30, 50% of our stem cells have gone dormant. By the time we are 60, 65, 90 to 95% of the stem cells in our body have gone dormant. And this is really where aging kind of starts and comes in. The biggest challenge we have as we grow older is that we don't realize that our stem cells are going dormant, which means that we will have things like memory fog. Have you ever walked into a room and you have to go out of the room to figure out why did I actually go into the room in the first place? You can't find your car keys. You can't find where did I leave X? Where did I leave Y? And the challenge we always have is we kind of go, well, this wasn't like this 5 or 10 years ago. You go to the doctor and they go, well, come on, Knut. This is part of what's called getting old. And then you have some aches and pains. You bend over to pick up your keys from the floor. You want to get down on the floor and play with your grandchildren, and suddenly you have problems getting back up. Something goes out. And they say, that's part of getting old. Get used to it. And the cool thing here is that this allows us to reverse that. The fewer active stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. And what most people say when they hear about this, they go, nah, this is not possible. Well, rest assured it is possible. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonials of how the reactivation of your own body's stem cells is producing, eliminating, or simply rejuvenating your body to a much younger state. So what are some of the causes or the symptoms caused by dormant stem cells? Well, you get tired a lot quicker, more fatigue, you're slower to recover, meaning that if you go out and do some stuff, it takes longer for you to recover. It could also be the fact that you've had some accidents, you might have had some surgery. It just takes longer to recover from that as well. You're more prone to sickness, you have reduced strength, your muscle mass kind of disappears, brain fog, sleep challenges, etc., etc., etc. Rest assured, there's actually a way around that. We can actually help our body regenerate and rejuvenate. This is the gentleman who invented this X39. David Schmidt, he's the founder, the CEO of the LifeWave, the company, and he's also the inventor of X39. Here it says that he has got more than 180 patents. Let's correct that. He has got more than 130 patents, but it's still a remarkable number. In 2008, he started focusing his attention on stem cells and the research therein. The patent for the X39 took 10 years to develop and get to market, and $4.5 million in itself from the company to get the product out there. Some people ask me every now and then, what's the X39? What does it mean? It's actually just his 39th attempt at getting the patch to work. Very simple, logical explanation. This is a copy of the patent itself. You can see that it was awarded in July 2020. And that means that we've still got another 16.5 years to go. No one else can get this technology. It's unique. But let me read ad verbatim from the patent itself. And for example, in some embodiments, as a result of elevating a copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production. I thought I was going to get it done in one breath, and improved wound healing. I need to take a deeper breath before I start on that again. But this is in the patent. And what people don't seem to realize or don't know is that everybody says you can activate your stem cells. Well, the first part here is as a result of elevating a copper peptide. This is how it works. Your body has something called a GHK copper peptide. You can look it up at pubmed.gov. There's more than 130 studies on what GHK copper peptides do in your body, on how it is activated. And what David found was that your entire body emits heat, or an infrared signature. And infrared signatures of heat is also viewed as a light. And on the back of this little patch, there's an organic nanocrystal compound, sugars and salts and small amino acids. And if you see, for example, crystals, they are basically reflecting light. And David found a subfrequency of that infrared light that can stimulate your own GHK copper peptide. So it reflects your own energy, your own little battery, so to speak. And it reflects your own light into your own skin, stimulating the GHK copper peptide, which now reactivates your stem cells. This is unique. Totally unique. It's completely non-transdermal, which means that nothing goes through the skins. There is no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. There are no prescriptions, and it's completely non-invasive. In other words, you don't even need to go to a general practitioner or doctor to get a prescription on all of this. If you want to use this yourself in a business or a practice, you don't need a certificate or a license for it. The FDA categorizes this product as a general wellness product. And if you see down on the bottom right-hand side on the X39 envelope, you see that it says general wellness patch. The FDA has a category for products called general wellness product, and that's where the X39 patch sits. There's no need for being FDA approved because we don't deal with drugs. The LifeWare products, I have to say this, the LifeWare products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. One second. That in itself is huge. That means that anyone, anywhere, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a chiropractor, whether you're a massage therapist, or you are Joe Blogs, you can actually help people with this remarkable technology. In fact, in Malaysia, this product is categorized as a medical device. And in many respects, you will hear us as we go further, we'll talk about this patch as a device. It's an enabling device to allow your own body turning on its own stem cell production. What are the benefits of the X39? I can speak myself to the mental clarity. Mental clarity is important for what I do. I've been in IT for 40 years, and there's only two of us, or 1.5 of us in the department where I work. And the system that I'm looking after generates about $3.5 billion in tax revenue for Florida. But we are the only ones looking after it. I'm the only one I'm the chief architect behind it. So the importance of myself being able to deal with a multitude of problems and analyze very quickly and provide resolutions, it's of critical importance. And after starting on the patches, I have noticed a massive difference for myself. Increased strength, yes. Reduced inflammation. For those of you who don't know, pain is very often caused by inflammation in most cases, unless, of course, if you break your arm or you cut yourself with something which is an acute damage. Most of the time when we have pain, it's caused by short-term or longer-term inflammation in our body. Restored muscle or skeleton conditions, improvement of sleep. Well, this is where your body actually is in a position to repair itself. If you don't sleep well, chances are that your body isn't going to repair and regenerate itself in a proper manner. Increased stamina, of course, energy and vitality, and of course, improved skin appearance. Most people don't know this, but by the time you get to 30, suddenly these little lines, fine lines, and wrinkles appear. That is caused by the collapse of collagen in your skin. X39 helps alleviate that. Now, here's an interesting little stat for you. And I don't think any one of you have seen this before. This is a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. And as you can see, when she got started on X39, the brain was inflamed, it was aggressive, it was not very much relaxing or giving this lady the peace and quiet that she wanted, and very much brain fog and so forth. The interesting thing here, in the space of 6 weeks, look at the difference in the picture on the left and the one on the right. And the amount of calmness, the amount of reduction in inflammation, stress, the incredible thing is this was only X39 in the space of 6 weeks. This is an actual brain scan. And the actual research behind this, I think there's another 17 or 18 brain scans from individuals. The thing is, as we grow older, there's a buildup over time. And for example, things like losing memory or getting the shakes, especially the former, is also very often referred to as diabetes type 3. And what X39 does is that it restores the brain to a younger stage, a younger age. And that in itself allows people to relax, allows people to snap back, and we suddenly get our friends and relatives back from being lost in the wilderness. And there are so many other benefits from using the X39 when you look at what happens to the rest of the system. Long-term results from X39. In the first few days, the 4,000 plus genes begins to reset in your body. The importance of that is that if you've had, and as we grow older, our cells begins to degenerate, we will find some issues in the length of the telomeres in the body, and that in itself is also a precursor to understand how long we're going to live. And what the X39 does is that it begins to replace these, shall we say, damaged or age-reduced cells with fresh cells. And that is the whole key here, is that it allows the system now to gradually begin to reboot. Within 6 weeks, and we saw the screen prior, the brain becomes balanced, whether that is from memory issues, shaking issues, on the spectrum issues, or issues in and around, for example, PTSD. Because all of these are caused by imbalance in the brain. And we have numerous testimonials and examples of where this has happened. These are general observations. We cannot promise anything specifically for you, your friends, or your loved ones, but we know that these are the things that happen to people who wear the patches. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. What does that mean? In essence, it means that your skin is retaining or regaining a youthful look. Crow's feet lines, experience lines, as my mom used to call them, they are greatly reduced or are eliminated. And within 6 months, the heart or the vascular system reverses in age. How does that happen? Well, given the fact that as we grow older, our vascular system gets stiffer. And what they did in research, they found that the vascular system regained elasticity. And one of the side effects of that is, for example, that we typically find that blood pressure comes down, which means that you also have an opportunity to get off some of those drugs, for example. It is not anti-aging, it's age reversing, as David Schmidt says. How to wear the X39 is quite simple. You wear the patch for 12 hours, and then you take it off and throw it away. Stay off the patch for 12 hours and then reapply another patch. Very simple, very straightforward. Drink plenty of water. As you see where the patch is placed here, is recommended by the company to put it underneath your belly button or on top of the C9. If you bend your head forward, you feel the bump on top of your neck. You can place the patch there as well. But it can also be topically placed in the sense that one of my dogs gave me a major scratch on my arm 2 days ago, 3 days ago. We were playing and he got a little bit rambunctious and sunk his canine into the front of my arm. Stuck an X39 on that, and now there's literally just 2 little puncture wounds left. Remarkable. A friend of mine here in town had a damaged ACL. I said, stick your patch on the ACL directly. And inside 2.5 months, no surgery required, He was back at the gym, lifting weights and squatting. Not a problem at all. A couple of comments I get here. Do I have to wear these patches forever? Nope. What we recommend, or the company recommends, is wear the patch for 1 month for every 10 years you've been alive. It's very straightforward. If you're 60, like myself, 6 months. Julie, 55, 5.5 months. If you're 70, 7 months. Very straightforward. Do you have to continue wearing them after that? No, not again. But an interesting aspect here is that your body reverses in age. So we have these scales in our bathroom, and I step on them every day, every second day. And my weight, of course, is there, but it also measures things like the amount of water content, muscle content, the bone mass, etc. But it also measures my biological age, my metabolical age. And when I stepped on my scales Thursday a week ago, my body thinks it's 38. I'm 60. So if I stop wearing the patches, guess what? I would start sliding back towards 60. And I don't really want that to happen. I'm quite happy to stay in my late 30s. I'm very happy about that, I have to say. Another comment I get is, well, I can't feel anything. Well, that is a fair comment. But let me ask you this question, a couple of questions then. Can you feel that your nails are growing? Can you feel that your hair is growing? Can you feel that your skin replaces itself every 3 months? No. 90% of your body is non-sensitory. In other words, you can't feel it, but the body still works, right? So rest assured that the fact that you can't feel anything, it just means that your body, your stem cells, are working on something that's far more important for your body than what you can actually feel. And I think the adjunct to that would be, well, what are you noticing that is missing? So, for example, if you're walking around with pain and it's been a part of your life for the 10 years, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has healed that aspect, but I tell you one thing is working on it and reducing the inflammation. So that in itself is a very, very common side effect that we hear from people when they say, oh, I can't feel anything. Well, guess what? You might not feel there's something, but are you noticing the absence of something, which is really cool. The final thing is, what does this cost? Well, you're looking at less than a cup of coffee a day. And if I look at the value of all of that in terms of not having to have a prescription, not having to go to the doctor, not having to take time off to go to a chiropractor. A friend of ours I think they're up in Wisconsin, he used to go to a chiropractor twice a week. Now he has 45-minute travel each way. That's an hour and a half, and then 15, 20 minutes on the table, and then another $60, $70 on top of that. He's in the construction industry. That means that it's 2.5, 3 hours twice a week that he's non-billable, and it costs him $60 to $75 each time. Just that on its own is well worth the benefit and advantage of the X39. So it's really, really sophisticated, very, very easy to explain. And what I really love about it is the fact that it has a health and a wellness aspect to it, first and foremost. First and foremost. Excuse me. And that, for anyone who actually looks at these patches, I am of the firm opinion that if you don't share this with other people, you're just simply, I wouldn't say cruel, but I'd say it's stingy. Because there's so many people out there that really, really, really need this product. They want this product. They're praying for this product. Yet so few people know anything about it. So few people know something about it. The company has as a mission to get into 1 billion homes. And let's help them with that. Now I'm going to stop the share here for a second. And I'd like to invite 1 or 2 or 3 of you to jump in for a minute or two. We have some time. And just share how the patches have actually helped you or helped someone else in your life. So whomever would like to flap their hand and show something.
I'll start. I just wanted to talk to. I had a when I first found the X39, it was because I had a ripped calf muscle, and I was pretty well upset about not being able to play in my tennis tournaments. But honestly, when I put the patch on, I mean, within about 10 minutes, I was feeling a lot better. I wasn't having the pain. I was able to walk. I mean, it was crazy, really, because I'd never experienced anything like that. So I kind of understand it if people are like, oh, what's happened? You know, I can't feel anything. I felt something because it was obvious at the time. But what I discovered after that, and I kept wearing the X39, was the increase in stamina. I mean, you don't feel it, you just do it. So then you notice that you can actually get a lot more done, and I'm not as worn out and things like that. I had that. I had energy recovery, just went through the roof. Like, I was playing 2.5 hours of tennis and going, I'm done, to 5 hours, and can we keep playing? You know, get home, don't have to spend that much time stretching and yogaing and doing all these other things. So just a couple of short things. There's a lot more to it. I've had a lot of other great experiences where it's helped me within my body that I couldn't feel. But I just thought I'd just share a little bit of that, and I'll pass the torch on. So who would like to share?
Well, I'd like to share. It's Louise, and I've been using the patch. It was introduced to me by my tennis coach, Tammy. She introduced the patch to me October the 9th, and she knew that I was having a lot of pain in my hand, particularly my index finger. I had difficulty holding onto the tennis racket. Then I also had arthritis in my knees. I also had a frayed meniscus on the outer part of my knee. I didn't get relief right away, but I said, well, I didn't end up this way overnight. And the company offers a 30-day money back guarantee. So I thought, what do I have to lose except pain? So I used it, and I would say within 2 weeks, I could tell a slight difference. And I've been using the patch faithfully every single day, 12 hours on and 12 hours off. And I'm thankful to say I have no pain in my knee. I can go, due to arthritis, I can go up and down the stairs and not have any pain in my fingers. I don't need to get steroid shots any longer. And needless to say, I don't need steroid shots in my knee either. So I like that. And my husband, he had an injury. He went to Alaska a couple of years ago, and he's putting up, he hurt his back pulling luggage off of the conveyor belt. And he's had a lot of difficulty with that. In fact, he was at a point where I had to pull him off the sofa to get off the sofa. And he also had to use a cane to pull himself out of bed. That's not a problem anymore. And he wears a X39 on his back. Sometimes he moves it around and he puts it on the other parts of his body. And he says, Louise, I think I'm smarter now. He's 72, I'm 71. We both lead a very, very active life. And so we both had more energy and we're able to do more things. And I won't go back.
Now, let me ask you a question about that luggage belt.
Uh-huh.
Is it because you packed the kitchen sink?
Yeah. No, that was my husband. Every year he goes to Alaska and he's one of the coordinators of the Easter Sunrise Service. So Lord knows what he had in that suitcase. He brought it from Alaska, and it was just, he had too much stuff in it. But, it's okay. He's going back a week, next Sunday. He's going to go for a week and do it again. But, as I said, he's a volunteer for the Louisville Police Department, a volunteer chaplain. He's also the district chaplain for Rotary. He's also a volunteer chaplain for the American Legion. He teaches Sunday school. I can't tell you all the things that he does. He's extremely busy, and so am I. But we like to have a busy lifestyle because we both know people who are our age, they're doing absolutely nothing because they have too much pain and they don't have the energy. So both of us, we get tired, don't get me wrong, but we love the X49, the X39, the Eon patch, and the Ice Wave, and the sleep, the Silent Night. So we use it all. We're LifeWave family.
Awesome. Tammy, I see you're waving your hand there.
Hey there. I've been on the patch now, think we're at a year and a half now, or a little longer. And I started using the patch when Julian Knut and I met up at the US Open. When was that? October 2022, I think it was. Anyway, what's happened for me is I have had incredible results regarding a broken bone. That I didn't need to have surgery, and I should have had surgery because my bones knitted so fast. I've had great results with my meniscus growing back in my knee. I've had great results with my skin. I feel like my face is totally changed. And that's, part of that is, besides the X39, is using the Alavita patches and the Alavita day cream and night cream. What else has happened? It's just, I have arthritis. I've got osteoarthritis, and, being on the tennis court 12 hours a day, you get pretty darn stiff, and it's a lot of pain, and the patches have pretty much taken almost all of that away from me. So I love it. I'm not going to ever get off of them.
Awesome. Now, I would like to ask Lisa as well, because you have had some amazing results in a very short time frame, but also being in the profession where you are, everybody, Lisa is a medical massage therapist, and she deals with a lot of people, and she also knows her own body really, really well. So if you started off with just what has happened to you in the space of 10, 12, 15 days, please.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. I was excited about hearing about this new technology because I have been researching this other technology called QC Kinetics. It is wildly expensive and very specific to and it's an injectable that goes into a specific joint. Lord, I've got more hurting than just a single place. And so, started wearing X39. Today is my 30th day. Like Louise, the first week I was like, I don't know. I really can't tell. The second week it was like the light came on. My hands stopped hurting. I mean, I've been a massage therapist, deep work, medical massage for 21 years. I had hip pain from HIIT training. I enjoy active exercise. Acid reflux from just being so stressed, and that's sort of new. A new condition that had cropped up over the last couple of months. I sort of noticed within the last 2 or 3 weeks that doesn't even occur anymore. I mean, really, the list kind of goes on, and it's exciting to tell my clients about it because people don't come to my clinic for a day at the spa. They come to us because we are the Fix-It crew. They're hurting, and with this technology, I'm very excited to share it.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm sure we'll hear many more stories as we go along. That's for sure. So well done. Thank you all. I'm going to switch back over to the rest of the session here. So let me share my screen again. Here we go. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. So the company LifeWeb itself got started in 2004, which means that it's 20 years young this year. And it's kind of interesting to say young because that's exactly what we're talking about in terms of X39. It got started in 2004 as a result of one of the government research facilities reached out to David and say, hey, can you help us develop something that can keep our Navy SEALs more active at a high level of alertness without having to resort to things like drugs such as amphetamines and or caffeine. David came up with the first product, which is still available, which is called Energy Enhancer. And itself as a product, it's remarkable. In a normal gym session, physical session, wearing those patches can increase your calorific burn by up to 500 calories. And that's still available. It's an amazing little product on its own. The company in 2018-19, when it launched the X39 product, was turning over just over $20 million. Last year, December 31, the company tapped out at a $430 million. That's a 20 times revenue growth. The company is open in more than 75 countries around the world. What does that mean? It means that the company is legal. It means that the company and the products have been through validation and certification in 75 plus countries around the world. It is not snake oil. It is a product that has a worldwide audience. And the governments around the world says, yes, we think our citizens can use this product. The cool thing is that the company is distributing this product as affiliate marketing or network marketing or referral marketing, whatever you want to call it. Because if it was to be put on the shelf at the likes of Walmart, Publix, Kroger, CVS, or any of those, the companies that were to sell these products demand a premium for shelf space, such that the price of the product would be twice, if not 3 times, of what it is today. And that in itself is David's brainchild. He wants this to be available for everybody. Even better, it is not a Me Too product. You cannot buy this product anywhere else. If you look at any other company that is in this industry, they all have Me Too products, almost bar one, LifeWave. They have weight loss, they have protein powder, they have vitamins, they have skincare, makeup, washing powder, dishwashing detergents, and all of that. LifeWave is unique. It stands pretty much on its own. And that is what I love about it, because when you have something that is unique, people want it even more. This is just a little bit of a heads up about the company LifeWave. It is the fastest moving network marketing company in the world. Nobody else has the volume, the growth, the explosive growth that this company has. Nobody. And that has happened in the space of 19-20 months, where this company has just taken the world by storm. We just opened up in Korea and is growing like there is no tomorrow. So then the question arises, yes, the patches cost $3.50 thereabouts per. What if there was a way for you to actually have those patches covered, the cost of that? Well, that's number one. But number two, if you had managed to regain health and wellness, what would you like to do in your day-to-day? Could it be the fact that you want to spend more time with your family? Could it be the fact that you would like to travel? Julia and I, we have a penchant for traveling. We've both been to 75 plus countries around the world. We love traveling. As a matter of fact, LifeWave afforded us a trip last year to Aruba, and we were off to Cancun on a 4-night, 5 days, all paid expense, through helping other people regain their health and wellness through this business. Is it the fact that you're approaching retirement age and there are some holes in your 401k? Or is it the fact that you're a grandparent and you would like to be able to get down on the floor, play with your grandchildren, spoil them rotten for a week, and then hand it back to your kids? I don't know which one takes your fancy, right? But is it just paying off some pesky credit cards? Whatever takes your fancy, but it is an opportunity here to do that. So I mentioned earlier that for example, if you'd like to just have the costs of the patches covered, straightforward, we have a compensation plan that's geared for that. It's very, very simple. We operate what's called a binary system. You have a left team and a right team. I won't go into the details, The person who invited you here will help you put together this little structure. And when that happens, you basically get to cover the cost of your own initial investment. That in itself is nice. In other words, if you can get your own money off the table, as we say, as quickly as possible, this can take anything from 2 to 4 weeks. We know people who've done it in a day or two. Some people, they use the patches for a year and then go, all right, yes, please help me. But as this structure goes, at this level, nothing else, it's possible to earn up to $25,000 a week. Yes, it requires effort. Yes, it requires some time. It requires some drive. But as it stands here, well, that is pretty remarkable on its own. I see your hand coming up there. I've got literally a couple of more, and then we'll answer questions at the end if that's okay with you. Blanca, if that's okay with you. The next level here, this is what we call level 3 in a compensation plan. Level 4, 5, and 6 is where it gets really, really interesting. And what had my attention was the 3 black words underneath it: unlimited income potential. I've been in this industry for 24 years, and I've never seen this before. It's truly remarkable. So, for example, if I could, let's say I spoke with Jack, who speaks with Anne, who speaks with Pete, and Jack goes, this sounds really interesting. Allow me to build out a team. So he earns, say, $2,000 a week. Lifeway pays weekly. Then he finds Anne, who starts making some money, and then finally Pete. In this structure, I'd be paying $900 a week as a recurring override from whatever the team beneath me are earning. So people say, well, is this one of these funny, shaky structures? No. If Jack is earning $2,000 and the company pays me $500, who earns more money? Jack does. Why it is unlimited is very simple. How many Jacks are there in the world? If I am courageous, audacious, and whatever, and I go out and speak with 3 or 5 or 100 people, and I find 3 Jacks. And over time, Jack now says, well, thank you very much. Jack 1, 2, and 3 goes, thank you very much. Well, the company rewards me for having done the work. There's 8.5 billion people on this earth. It's possible to find 1, 2, or 3 Jacks on top of what the previous slide mentioned. We have basically 3 ways to get in that we recommend. The silver value is to come on in on a value pack. The retail price of this is $450. So the silver value pack saves you $150. It gives you 3 sleeves of X39. The gold pack is for someone who says, yes, I'd like to cover the cost of my own patches. Teach me how to do it. That's $500. And finally, the one that actually says, and this is where Julie and I came in. We see this, we understand the concept, we understand the value of this. Give us 19 sleeves of X39 or combination thereof. Let us run. Let's just go and talk to as many people as we can. Within 3 months, 3.5 months, Julie and I have never paid for our own patches ever since. It's all done through the system. We have a subscription system. I strongly recommend that you get on that because number one, you will always like to have a supply of patches that you can share with people. Hey, try this, try that. But the other thing here is that it gives you an opportunity to tap out at the max of the compensation plan. I won't get into any further details on that. Needless to say that there is a system behind it. We have a very simple system. And when it's simple and it's easy, people can learn it. There's not a question of sitting down and building out a library of whatever the patches do and how they work. No, stick it on someone's neck. They will have an experience and then go, wow, can I have some more of that? Finally, what have you got to lose? Other than aches and pains, what have you got to gain? More energy, rejuvenation, better looking skin. I, for one, have never seen this. I wish I had seen it 10, 15 years ago when the patches started coming out. But it is what it is. I am where I am. And I wish for you that you actually see this, you go and try it, and you share it with some people in and around you that you care for, that you love, and you know that they're having some challenges, because this patch can really, really, really rejuvenate and re-energize their bodies and the interactions with everyone around them with a much higher level of energy and vitality. So with that, I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to stop the recording.